I've gone to one of the best schools that are celebrated in this country, the Alliance High School. So I do not suffer from intellectual deficiency when it comes to these matters. That communication was to be made on Tuesday at 2:30. At 1, we were served with a court order from the political parties tribunal. We had two options: to assume we're a monster and ignore the court order, or become an institution that is governed by the rule of law and obey the court order. A communication was made in that regard, and it was delivered here by the Deputy Speaker. The Deputy Speaker ruled that he was unable to read the communication that had earlier been prepared. In fact, if you go to the Hansard, these are the words that the Deputy Speaker said, that the communication that was in fact ready for communication. So at the time he was occupying this chair, the Deputy Speaker knew he had a copy, but the only thing that made him not communicate was the fact that he was stopped by an order from the political parties tribunal. So a substantive ruling on why that communication was not made was actually communicated to this House. So, honorable senators, you cannot come back to me today and beg me to make a communication, because a communication was already communicated to the effect that we could not deliver that communication of changes of the minority side pursuant to no order that had been served upon us from the political parties tribunal. That is the ruling, and it's a ruling I'm not willing to disturb. Neither do I have those powers to review. Now, Senator Sifuna, you have used Gor Mahia and FC, the Mashemeji Derby. That is, Gor Mahia wants to substitute. It should never be a concern of the referee. The person who stopped the communication, in fact, is not the referee. It is not the speaker, because in this match, the speaker is the referee. The person who stopped that communication is the tribunal, not the speaker. And as such, my hands are tied. And the reason why I was talking about consistency as a major theme in our lives is what I've witnessed. On the day that the Deputy Speaker was delivering his ruling, immediately after he delivered that ruling, to the effect that his hands are tied by the order from the tribunal, a number of senators rose on points of order, notably Senator Sifuna. And he was very elaborate in his point of order. That if you read that order, it's very clear that the position that is being contested and has been stayed by that court order is the position of the deputy of the minority whip. But as far as the position of the deputy minority whip is concerned, that has not been stayed by the court order. And Senator Sifuna invited the chair to rule as such. On the following day, pursuant to a request and persuasion of Senator Sifuna and others, a communication was made, which communication agreed in totality with what Senator Sifuna had submitted the previous day. And the chair rose here to make that communication. the communication aborted prematurely because there was anarchy and disorder from the very same people who are insisting that please delink those two. Give us the position of the Deputy Chief Whip. We'll await and abide by the outcome of the tribunal. While agreeing with the senators who rose on a point of order in that respect, he was heckled. The Deputy Speaker was heckled. That communication was not completed. Now, when I walked into my office today, again, I'm talking about consistency. When I walked into my office today, I see a letter from the majority leader, from the minority leader, dated the 23rd of February, 2023. Now, allow me to read this letter, because this is the latest communication to me from the minority leader. It goes as follows. To the Speaker, Senate Nairobi. Dear Speaker, changes in the representation of names in leadership by the minority side. Kindly note that as agreed, pending the hearing and determination of the matter relating to the changes in the minority side of leadership, be notified that both the minority whip and the